Okay, now coming to solar basics part 3, I'm going to be explaining a question which a lot of people ask. Why is it that we cannot charge lithium ferrous phosphate batteries with the same solar charge controllers as lead acid batteries? Why should we purchase separate lithium ferrous phosphate oriented controllers for lithium ferrous phosphate? The other way around is also not possible. Why can't we do that? So I'm going to be covering it in this video. Okay, so let me show you this data sheet which we have for the batteries which are used with solar power systems and even in non-solar applications also. Now let me cover up lead acid batteries and lithium ferrous phosphate batteries. Now if you look at it, even though the lead acid battery charges at 14.4 volts, yet when it is off of the charger, the voltage drops to immediately 13.2 volts or maybe 13.6, 13.8 to that range. Whereas the lithium ferrous phosphate battery starts off at 14.4 volts. Now a 12 volt lead acid battery has a voltage of between 12.5 volts to 12.8 volts during its normal operation, mid charge operation, whereas lithium ferrous phosphate batteries have a range of 12.8 to 13.6 volts. So it is common for lead acid batteries to idle at 12.5 volts, whereas lithium ferrous phosphates idle at around 13.4 volts, around that. That itself shows there is a major difference in the voltage levels of the battery. This can be achieved only by its dedicated charge controllers. This type of any type of operation of charging or discharging can now be obtained only by dedicated charge controllers. That is one reason. Now a lot of times there have been people who have tried to use these lead acid charge controllers to recharge lithium ferrous phosphate batteries, just that they have gotten around 10 to 20% loss in capacity. Now if you are looking at a small solar power system where you use like batteries of like less than 100 watt hours, that is quite a lot of loss, which is why I don't really recommend using these lead acid charge controllers with lithium ferrous phosphate batteries or vice versa. Now are there any other problems? Yes, there are other problems too. One of the features that some of these lead acid controllers have, lead acid charge controllers have, is that they have a small microprocessor based system in them in which they temporarily apply high voltage pulse and high current pulses for short durations of time. These pulses go up to around 18 volts and 30 amps, like something like that. This is done so that the lead sulfate crystal deposit on the lead plates of the battery gets burnt out, and to ensure smooth conduction of electricity. This way the lead acid batteries have a prolonged lifespan of like, let's say, 6 months or 1 year extra, and they're also able to discharge and charge smoothly. So in case you were to use a lithium ferrous phosphate battery with this type of with any lead acid controller, it would be very detrimental to the lifespan of the lithium ferrous phosphate battery, because these pulses will cause heavy damage to the cells as well as the battery management systems inside them. So that's another reason to not use. Now coming to the other thing as to what will happen if we use a lithium ferrous phosphate charge controller with a lead acid battery. Now the problem is that, again, see, the voltage differences are there, but on top of it another fact is that lithium ferrous phosphate batteries are easier to charge. That is, it takes lesser amount of dissipation to charge them up. So because of that, if you try to charge them with a if you try to charge a lead acid battery with that controller, it will require extra power to make up for the dissipations and losses, because of which the lithium ferrous phosphate controller will not be able to recharge lead acid batteries properly. Which is why I recommend that if you are getting a charge controller, make sure that it's the same one for the battery that you're using. If you're going to use lead acid battery, then go for a lead acid controller. If you're using lithium ferrous phosphate, then definitely go for a lithium ferrous phosphate controller. Do not interchange at any cost. Now, it doesn't necessarily give the information on the nameplate or on the description anywhere. It doesn't give whether it's lead acid or lithium ferrous phosphate. The best option is to purchase charge controllers in their original packaging, in their box, which will include the extra details as well as the instruction manual, where it will be specified whether to use it with lead acid batteries or lithium ferrous phosphate batteries. Now, there are some type of charge controllers which work with both the batteries, but they are very rare to find and are mostly limited to very large applications in the kilowatts range, and we are less likely to find it for smaller applications like this. So best bet is to like look at the box and get it, or even if you are shopping online, check the full description and see whether it's lead acid or lithium ion. It will be specified. The controllers look same from the outside, but inside the circuitry will be different for both of them. So that's one important point which you must note. So I would like to conclude the video for now. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video.